Ghost towns. Texas is full of them. We've explored a few on this show. In our first season, it was the mining town of New Gulf. In 2014, we explored the Route 66 town of Glen Rio. This time around, we're headed to the proverbial middle of nowhere, to the friendliest ghost town we've ever visited. Today, we're headed to Doole, Texas.
Texas is full of lost history, from lost cemeteries to abandoned buildings, from the infamous to the obscure. Hitch a ride and travel across the Lone Star State, looking for hints of Texas' colorful past, our lost history. This is Expedition Texas, and we're gonna find it.
Ghost towns have long been the stuff of legend. Aging buildings, overgrown streets, and the occasional tumbleweed make ghost towns one of the most romanticized features of the Texas landscape. Our attraction to Doole, Texas went beyond that. We had heard that there were ruins of an old baseball stadium that dated back to the 1920s. This made Doole a necessary stop. Like most ghost towns, it's almost completely abandoned. Normally, that would make it a hard story to tell, unless someone remains who is willing to help tell that story. When we went to Glen Rio, Texas, it was a great ghost town right on the New Mexico state line, right on the old path of Route 66. Couldn't get anybody to show us around. It was the only self-guided tour ever on the show, so we knew very little about the buildings that we were exploring. Cool place, bad story. In New Gulf, we had a very informative guide and lots of the mining company that was left to explore, just not much of the town itself. Doole, Texas promised to be a little bit different. The community of Doole, Texas originated after a nearby ranching community called Gansel, and some surrounding residents sought to establish a post office. In 1911, they went to Brady postmaster David Doole Jr. for advice. The Postal Service in Washington, D.C. rejected the name Gansel, so out of appreciation for Mr. Doole, the town and the post office were named after him. Doole was home to 250 residents by the 1940s, but began to decline after World War II. A drought in the 1950s caused many farmers to leave and search for better opportunities. By the mid-1960s, the population had fallen to just 40 people. Though Doole is unincorporated, it has a post office, and that is the only active business in this once bustling little town. We had called the Doole post office and had been trying for about 2 weeks to get someone who would show us around and tell us the story of Doole. And nobody came forward, so we just finally decided to drop into Doole for a little visit. Rolling into Doole, I didn't have much hope that we were going to find anyone to talk to. The post office there, the only active business, closes at 11, and we were getting there later in the afternoon. When we rolled into Doole, I started knocking on doors of the homes that looked like maybe somebody lived there, and wasn't getting any answer, and I was starting to get a little concerned until we came upon Bill Lopez. Bill kept insisting that he did not want to be interviewed, but somehow he kind of ended up doing it anyway. Is the school building still here anywhere?
No, they tore it down. That's where the community center is now.
Oh, okay. All right. A farmer stopped by the post office to check his mail, and then he and Bill started trying to come up with ideas for someone to give us an interview. Y'all do see that camera there, right? So what do y'all do at the community center? Just get-togethers?
Well, yeah, but now all we have is a school reunion in August.
Okay.
That's about it, because nobody else has anything.
I wonder who I talked to about getting into the church over there and doing some pictures in there.
Just open the door.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is where we all went to church.
The Doole Baptist Church. So you went to church here too, huh?
Oh, yes.
made a trip to the Central Texas ghost town of Doole, Texas. Unlike most expeditions, we showed up without setting up a guide to show us around, in hopes that someone would be available to visit with us. After knocking on a few doors, we met Bill Lopez. Bill was a longtime resident of Doole and told us to look around all we wanted. Bill tried calling a local man named Briggs Browning.
Let's see if Briggs Browning wants.
And Mr. Browning had gone to Brady to get some feed for his cattle and wouldn't be back for a while, so Bill just told us we could go and poke around and explore whatever we wanted.
That building right there, in gray,
Yeah.
that's a blacksmith shop.
Really? And who is that? You own that property?
No, but you can take pictures of it too and walk around in there. There's nobody there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No.
even the little house. That's just the only thing I can tell you is watch for rattlesnakes.
Okay. Okay. Near where we met Bill was the old blacksmith shop there in Doole. And so with one eye on the ground looking for rattlesnakes, we proceeded to go check out the old blacksmith shop and poke around in there a little bit. Well, this is the first place Bill told us to check out, and we have permission just to kind of poke around. But we know for a fact this was the old blacksmith shop. Lots of tools and things out here. The free pass to look around and explore whatever we wanted was great, but to tell the story, I kind of needed a guide to let me know what I was looking at. Being able to wander around and just kind of go through and explore these old buildings, it was fun, it was cool, but for the purpose of telling a story, it wasn't working out. So we went back to Bill again and asked him one more time to help us out. This time he said okay, so I hopped in the back of his truck and we were off to the old Doole Baptist Church. Walking through the doors of the old Doole Baptist Church was like stepping back in time. The old seats were still there, the hymnals were still in them. Beautiful old hardwood floors.
Yeah.
And these are nice, not pews, benches.
You go up the steps there. Be careful.
Yeah. This is awesome. Were you baptized here, Bill?
No.
No? Bet you knew some folks that were, though, huh?
Yes.
It's been a while since anybody was. And you said they quit holding services here when?
Oh, probably about 7-8 years ago.
Really? So it
Yeah.
hadn't been totally abandoned that long, I guess.
No.
Was this Sunday school?
Yes.
Some games in here. Oh, looky there. Let's see here. Today's attendance, last Sunday's attendance. Don't have numbers on them though. We can't see how many people attended that last time.
Probably a handful.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. After exploring the old church, we walked next door to what was once the old telephone office. You gonna go in with me? Okay, whoa, not much of a floor. Step very carefully, Bill. Or if you want to stay there, that's fine. There's not a whole lot to see in here that you can't see from the door anyway. Bill says, go ahead. What's fur down there? What is that? I don't poke around too much in there. Something's living in there. Look at this. Somebody did a puzzle.
The Battle of North Africa.
exploring the Central Texas ghost town of Doole. One of the only residents located near the old town site was a man by the name of Bill Lopez. Bill sent us on a self-guided tour of the old blacksmith shop before agreeing to show us around the rest of the town. We've explored the old church and the long-abandoned telephone office. When I had been exploring the old blacksmith shop, I noticed a very old house right next to it. And from where we were at the telephone office, I could see the house, and so I asked Bill about it. And he said that the blacksmith, Mr. Owen Gray, and his family lived there until the 1950s, and when they left, the house was abandoned. So we hopped in the truck and went down to explore Mr. Owen Gray's home. Mr. Gray's house, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
The house has been here a long time.
Look at this closet. It's got a little storage area up above it.
Yeah. But see, that's all they used. The 1x12s and black tar paper.
But the tar paper is what kept the weather out, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kitchen.
And the back door, and that's it.
Yeah. So 4 rooms, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Somebody did a puzzle. In Mr. Gray's home, there was an old puzzle that he or someone in his family had put together. Then they hung it up on the wall to display. Battle of North Africa.
The Battle of North Africa.
After doing some research, I found out that the puzzle dated back to 1942. It was part of the World War II Fighters for Victory series. Now, I don't know when the puzzle was put together, but it had definitely been hanging there since the 50s when the house was abandoned.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah, and there's one piece that's come out of it, and you can probably find it down there somewhere.
I cannot believe that this thing is still in this good of shape.
Built them a little better back then, I guess, huh?
Well, but see, it's just the 1x12s.
Yeah, solid. Cool little house. And most of the houses we've seen along the way here in Doole were about this size.
Yeah.
And you know what I love about it? Is the old porch swing is still hanging there.
Yep.
One of the things that drew us to Doole, Texas was the ruins of the town's old baseball park. Bill said that he would definitely show us the ruins, but first he had a real treat for us. An 89-year-old lifelong resident of the town who agreed to talk to us about its history. Briggs Browning came to Doole at the tender age of 9 years old. His father was a sharecropper who brought the family to the community in 1936. Briggs has been here ever since.
We had 2 cafes, laundry, 2 churches, and 2 bootleggers.
Briggs knew about everything there was to know about the small town of Doole, Texas. In fact, he informed us that the church we had visited earlier was built in 1917. 1917.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I've got the deed to the land out there.
And of course, Briggs knew the old blacksmith, Owen Gray.
Yeah, he could fix you a sweep and sharpen it without nothing. And wailed with that old fireplace. Willie knows more about that than I do there, but yeah, that is when back there you didn't have them welders and all that stuff, and they forged it together or whatever you want to say, and could make it stay sharp.
Briggs had seen a lot of folks come and go from Doole, so I asked him how it made him feel to drive through the town and see what's left of it now.
You know, it's sad, but that's the way time is now. You know, all these little communities have dwindled and nearly gone, you know, and still you got them good memories. They can't take that away from you as long as your mind works good and it's good. I'm proud I got to be out here and raised out here, you know.
It's good stuff. And then the stadium is around here somewhere. Can we go see that? exploring the ghost town of Doole, Texas. While all of the town's businesses and most of the residents are long gone, we found two who were willing to share the story of this little town. Bill Lopez showed us the church, telephone office, and then the blacksmith's home. He then introduced us to 89-year-old lifelong resident Briggs Browning. Briggs told us more about Doole and gave us a key to the community center, where historic photos of the town are housed. After saying goodbye to Briggs Browning, we hopped in the truck with Bill again and went to the community center, which is built at the site of the old Doole School. Yeah, you got some good stuff here. Now, what is this? Doole Parent-Teacher Association.
Yeah.
The old Doole Stadium. And what was it, just concrete seats?
Yes.
So the school roughly sat where we are now at the community center, right?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And then the stadium is around here somewhere. Right out. Can we go see that? The reason we came to Doole, Texas, out of all the Texas ghost towns we could have explored, was the ruins of the old baseball stadium, and Bill was about to take us and show it to us. All that was left of the old baseball stadium was the benches, which were made of concrete and stone, and they were all jagged and cracked. So we slowly and carefully made our way down those benches to the baseball field. Would it be rain or what that has caused so much deterioration in all the...
The rain, nobody upkeeping them.
I guess if nobody's around, there's just not much interest in keeping it up, huh?
No.
So the field, we're kind of down on it now, right?
And the fields was like that.
The poles here, were these like part of the dugout or something? Or?
Yeah.
When we got down on the field, I noticed a rock wall that went all the way around the old baseball complex. This wall right here is coming down now in some places, but it looks like it goes way off into the woods.
It does, over there.
I was excited to see the ruins of the old baseball park. Look at these cans. Bill was excited to see all the rocks that were available that he could use to build a stone fence around his house. Old soda can from when folks used to come out here to the game.
He'd come up here and pile rock and rock and rock, and I guarantee you he wouldn't take much to go around the house.
Yeah, you're already planning your next construction project, and I'm all excited about the old soda cans. Old tin soda can. That's cool. For Bill Lopez, Briggs Browning, and the scarce few neighbors scattered around the community, Doole is home. But as Doole's residents move on, the rattlesnakes and the cactus move in. Over time, nature slowly begins to reclaim what was once hers. Ghost towns like Doole and the people who live there are slowly fading away like the memories they created. Down the road, there's more lost history, another lost legend waiting to be explored. And on Expedition Texas, we're gonna find it.
Sunday afternoon, 1:30 in the afternoon, the ball game's fixing to start.
Play ball!